Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. This is OJ Pert Creative Academy, where we take people from beginner level to advanced level in the area of data analytics. And we train people on data skills or data analytics skills. We give you training in Excel, in Power BI, in SQL, in Tableau, in Python, R, and SPSS, other statistical packages. We got you covered. So this is a very a good platform if you do not know how to use, if you have never been a tech person before, if you have never done anything in data analysis or data analytics, we get you covered. You can consult us. Also, we write projects. We also deal on research writing. Most of our, almost all our research papers are indexed in Q1 journals. So you can Google our name and you can Google my personal name if you want. I can give you my personal name. So you Google and see the number of articles we have written that are all indexed in Scopus that are all indexed in Scopus. So without wasting much ado, on today's training, we want to look at how to carry out lookup functions. As a data scientist or a data analyst, lookup functions are um, handy tools we can make use of because as a someone who works with large number of data, sometimes they're running in their thousands, sometimes they're running in their 10,000s. The lookup function is a very handy formula that you need to know, and they are very easy to use. So today, let's go ahead. So we'll be looking at VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, and then we look at the hierarchies of XLOOKUP, where they fit in. Right now, let's go. Now, for the records, I have gotten my data from my previous data, which I use in preparing a dashboard in Excel. So that is where we got this data from. Now we want to check how to look at. Now you can see that column B here has different segments and they are also repeating. Now we want to look at the profits made by enterprise, which is a segment in column B. I've already gotten this. Now let's look at how to get them together. So we want to use function to be able to get that. Now we type our equal to, we already know that every time you want to type a formula in Excel, you have to prefix it using equal to sign. So we have equal to VLOOKUP. It's already here, so you can click on it. And then it asks you what is the lookup value that you are looking at. That is this, comma. Then the lookup array is here. You can use Control plus Shift left arrow, Control plus Shift down arrow. Right. Now the next thing it asks you is the column index. Now for you notice that we have selected all these values. Now what is the column index? We are looking at profit, and profit is at the fifth column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Profit is at the fifth column, comma. Then the next thing to ask you, are you looking for approximate match of your lookup value, or are you looking for exact match? So what we are looking at is exact match. So you close up your formula and it gives you the exact profit of the very first enterprise, right? It does not aggregate all of them. If you want to find out the sum of all the profits uh, made by this enterprise as a segment, this is where pivot comes in. But today we are not looking at pivot, we are looking at how to do what enterprise. We've also made videos on how to pivot our large number of data sets or our tables. So you can drag and fill. So it shows us the very first government, which is the very first government. You see, this is the value of the profit of the government, the very first one that appears in the data set. Okay. Now let's look at, and VLOOKUP, for the record, VLOOKUP has to do with vertical data set. And almost every data set we have is um, vertically aligned. So VLOOKUP can work with any of our data set. But if peradventure, we also look at that. The next one we'll look at is, just know that VLOOKUP has to go from what, shift from what, left to right. It cannot capture values from right to left. Right. Now, HLOOKUP. Now, as the name implies, VLOOKUP has to do with vertical lookup. You look up the values vertically. And HLOOKUP has to do with horizontal lookup. And your data or your table must be horizontally aligned for you to be able to use what, HLOOKUP. Now, let's see this value. Let's use HLOOKUP to find the profit of this one. So I've already done that. I'm also going to clean it so that you see what I'm doing here. So we delete it. Now we say equal to HLOOKUP. So what is our lookup value? This is our lookup value. Then our table of array is this. So we will do Control plus Shift arrow down to comma. So what is the column index of your lookup value? That is still 5. The same thing we did. Are we going to do approximate or exact match? So exact match it is. Here we have this. So for us to take it up to these levels, for example, I have meat markets here. If I want to get for government too, all I have to do is to drag and fill, right? And it will give me government. So let's see. Oh, okay. Now let's drag and fill for the other two. Good. This is giving me what? You can see it's giving me NA. Why is it attributing at NA? Now, if you see here, because of referencing, that is why it's attributing NA. Because as you shift your cursor, this also is shifting. For example, now let's look at this. This lookup value covers the whole data set that you have. But why is it not also attributing? You can see now this data set has shifted because of what? Referencing. Now, how do we fix it so that we will not come and be doing it one after the other, which is why we are using formula to save time. For you to be able to extend your formula to other rows after enterprise, you have to lock up your what's this, you have to lock up some things, and that is where we absolute referencing comes in. So we have to lock up the referencing here, and this referencing has to do with from B1 to U7. So we will use you use shift and $sign to lock your cell, to lock up your cell so that it will be able to attribute for other cells below your lookup value. So if we do this, and then we can now extend these values, we can now extend this formula to others. So you see, we have locked this thing up. We are able to lock it up by using what? $sign, which is called absolute referencing. And let's look at now, let's look at XLOOKUP. VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP has some limitations. You see, when your data is aligned horizontally, you can use HLOOKUP. If when it is aligned vertically, you can use VLOOKUP. But peradventure your data is scattered, or like I told you that V-referencing or VLOOKUP has to go from left to right. If the data is not going from left to right, then you cannot use VLOOKUP. For example, you can see that we have been able to rearrange our columns. It is not looking the same. It is not the same in this place. Here now we started with segments, Assuming the lookup value we are looking at is at the extreme or it is at the middle of the very large data set, are you no longer going to find the criteria you are looking for? That is why X lookup comes in. Now, after rearranging this data, I want to use VLOOKUP to still find our enterprise, to still find the profit made by our enterprise, which is a segment in this place. Now we also use VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, let's see what it will do. VLOOKUP, the lookup value is this. And the lookup, you can see now, I am supposed to go from here to here, but my segment is at the end of my data set. Even if I go like this, it is not going to start referencing from G to A. Instead, it will reference from A to G. It's already here. So Control plus Shift down, you see, it cannot reference from G to A. It must reference from A to what? G. That is vertical referencing. Must reference from the very first point to the last point, not from last point to the. So now what is our column index? Column index is say are we now going to say this is one, this is minus one, minus two? Okay, let's see if it will go minus four, minus four, minus five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's say minus 5. And then that is why it gave us this. Now let's use XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP comes in handy here. So we'll use XLOOKUP to find it. Equal to XLOOKUP. Now what is the lookup value? This is the lookup value, comma. Now what is the lookup array? The lookup array is here. XLOOKUP does not mind where your lookup value is coming from. And then the lookup array or the return array is this. And then you close it. It gives you exactly. Now you can see that in this place for XLOOKUP, you only select the columns where whatever you are looking for is. You don't have to select the entire data set. That is the difference between XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. Then we can also extend this formula to this one. So if I remove this and let's put something like small government. I've always used that. Let's put it. Oh, it's already there. Let's put mid-market so we can extend this. So let's see if we can extend this. We extend it to this. So you see, that is how it looks up. Now, let's also look at another aspect of the third aspect of VLOOKUP. Assuming we want to see, assuming the value you are looking for is not resident in your data set. For example, you know that Excel is case sensitive. Here now I have enterprise. I also have enterprise misspelled. If I did not specify that if you don't see it, return another this thing, it will give me what it will give me an error. So if my date or the value that I'm looking at is not found, what will it do? For example, let's carry out this to here. So let's carry out XLOOKUP as well equals to XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP, our lookup array is this. So our lookup array, where is it? This is segment. Is here. This is our lookup array, comma. Then what is it returning? It's returning profit. Control plus close it. it will return. Now, if I check this now, let's extend it. You see, because this one is not a value in this segment, that is why it is saying no. But if we try to tell it, if you don't see this, return this. So that's what we are going to do. So we are going to add another thing after your array. We will say return not found. Press record. So if it sees this segment, if it sees your lookup value, it will return the exact profit. If it did not see it, then it will return what? Not found. You see. Right. Now the next lookup function is more than one criteria. Assuming we have more than one criteria. Now we have been using profit. Now let's add sales to it. So let's add sales here. Sales. And then the other one, profit. Okay. Now how do we now do this? We will also use lookup function to get it. So we have equal to x lookup. Now look up this in this column. Control plus shift down, comma. The cells comes first. You hold it, drag it to include both sales and profit, and then you can drag it down, and then you close it. So you see it has returned the sales and the profit. So let's format this. Instead of general, we format it to return what currency. So anything in this place will return currency. Now we can drag, you can highlight, even if you don't highlight the both of them, you can highlight the both of them and then it will drag and fill. Now, why did it return NA in this channel? If you look at this place, we don't have just channel, we have channel and pattern. So the way to do this must be also different. If the only time it can correct is if I write the full name of what is there. But most times we actually don't have that patience to write it. So it's supposed to return right now. Or if it's not returning, that means I have not, you see what I wrote. That is one thing with Excel. You must write the exact thing for it to return. Now it's returning. Okay, for example, assuming I want only channel, it will not return. It will return NA. So for me to correct this anomaly here, I can come here and put some things. Right, let's try it and see. So I can say look up this function if something is added. Let's see what it will be. I am. And you can add and quotation mark, asterisk, and quotation mark. Let's see. Now it's returning 0. Okay, this is superb. Now please, let's take it back and okay, so here now I don't want, I want only channel, right? So it's going to return NA. So for me to do this, I'm going to write equal to X lookup this. Okay, I know why. Right. Sorry. Let's correct it here. I think we are supposed to use wildcards. This means, and then here now we'll use wildcard. If, okay, we'll use that one. It's okay. So as a data analyst, You have to try your hands in different things. So this is okay anyway. This is cool. Now let's try our hands here. It has returned that, but I want to use something else. So I'm going to have equal to X lookup. Return this even if something is added to it. Return, right? So what is the lookup array? This is the lookup array. Control plus shift arrow down, comma, the this one, control plus shift down. Then the next thing should be your wide count, comma, you put another comma to produce wide card. Wide card means that there may be other number of things added to it, but we don't know the length of the number of the other stuff added to our lookup value. So instead, we will not use exact match. Instead, we'll use wide card, and then we'll close it. So it will output right. So this is what we are looking at. These are different scenarios of X lookup. Now the next thing we will do is when we want to calculate the commissions per year using S lookup. Now in this type of scenario, you know that your VLOOKUP and your HLOOKUP can never do this. Now instead of trying our hands on different things, we go ahead and use our S lookup. I'm going to remove this and then show us how we are going to do it. That is what we call looping in X lookup. So we will have to loop it. All right. Okay, now let's clear it. Now we're going to have equal to X lookup. That is look up this value, given that this value falls in here, comma, another S lookup, because we are having another criteria. That is when we have two criteria. You have to put X lookup again, X lookup. Then the S lookup should now contain the whole of these values, right? The whole of these values. No, sorry, we're going to have, we are looking up that these values is in this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, taking more. Sorry, my laptop is hanging. Okay, forgive me. So we're going to have equal to X lookup, our value, comma, it lies here, comma, X lookup again. Now, what is the value we are looking at? We are looking at this, and the range of the value is, sorry. We are looking at this, comma, the range of value is this. comma, and given that is from here to here. No, no.